Hello, ladies, and welcome back to the Lady K Chat podcast. I am your host, Lady K, and I'm so excited to come back to you with part two that marriage is like a business. Listen, ladies, we dress the part when we go to our office, right? So we also have to dress the part in our marriage. So, ladies, tune in at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time today to hear more of those nuggets. I'll see you soon.
The following podcast is a Lady K Enterprises production.
Lady K.
Welcome, and thank you for tuning in to Lady K Chat, a podcast that is designed for all women to become better versions of themselves, which is broadcast every Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Various subjects will be speaked upon, such as relationships, personal development, health and wellness, wealth building, children, and so much more. She is a two-time Amazon best-selling author, an international speaker, and life coach. She is Kalima, aka Lady K. And now for your host, Lady K.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. Marriage is a Business Part 2, and I'm pretty much going to pick up where I left off at on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I was actually talking about, you putting the effort in helping your spouse, which is pretty much you're still working in the marriage because you got to work your business. So some people change in certain areas and you're not used to it. So now you have to position yourself to adapt to some changes. Sometimes it happens for the worse and sometimes it happens for the best. But you have to know how to make the best out your situation. And yes, it is very challenging at times because we are human and we don't adapt to change immediately. But once you become enlightened with the information, then you have to adapt to the changes. Change comes with the territory and marriage. It's not even just the change, it's you evolving. You cannot be the same person that they met and then 20 years later you did nothing. You are exactly the same. You didn't evolve in no areas. And there's many areas that we can strive in. Sometimes our health, our finances, whichever area it is, it has to be some type of elevation. It cannot be stagnant. So this is why, again, we have to plan to succeed. Have something in place. And to be honest, I honestly don't think there's nothing wrong with writing some of the things that you want to attain down, because we all know when it's written down and we see it in front of our face, we continue to make the daily adjustment and the daily sacrifices. So talking about sacrifices, how are you marketing yourself? Now I know you're like, Lady K, what are you talking about? How are you marketing yourself to your spouse? Do you come off sexy, compassionate, or up to date with your grooming? All that matters. Yes, you see how I said business is a marriage? You got to market yourself well. If you're requiring or you will like certain things from your spouse, then you got to play your role. Like, for example, fellas, you already know if you're looking for something in the bedroom department, you already know you got to give her the intimacy all day. In the morning, when she's driving to work, have a good day, baby. In the middle of the day, I'm thinking about you. When she comes home, maybe you don't help the kids with their homework and you told her that most of the dinner is ready. So when dinner is over, she don't mind loading the dishwasher. And while she's doing the dishwasher, you go upstairs, you bathe the children and put them in bed. Wow. She is saying he marketed himself very well. He thought about me. You know, he's helpful. He pulled his weight around the house. And he helped to put the kids away. Men, that is sexy. Y'all better be paying attention. So, how are you marketing yourself? Ladies, I'm going to ask you that. How are you marketing yourself? Are you going to bed, looking like grandma? Or are you when you're in the house and, you're just chilling? Are you wearing a big old dookie rag around your head and some big old sweats and big old shirts all the time? See, everybody have their days where they just want to relax. And I get that. But you got to remember, you want to keep your spouse interest. So you have to continually market yourself. Market yourself well. You want a response, but you don't want to put the work in. You have to be willing. That's the sacrifice. Marriage is a business. Plan for it. Buy you some sexy underwear. And don't just wear it because you think, he's going to like it. Yes, he's going to like it, but you need to feel good about yourself. When you feel good about yourself, it displays. Let it display that your confidence is soaring, that you are amazing, and he can't wait to be in your presence every day because you give him something to look for. Another thing that's in the business plan is, how are you different from your competitor? Ladies, fellas, how are you different from their ex? You want to continue to be you. You don't want to be nothing like your ex. There is a reason why the ex and them is not together anymore. So, you want to make sure you on point. You give them a reason. Again, it goes coincide with marketing, but you give them a reason why they chose you. And you give them a reason to continue to choose you. It's the same thing as the customer coming into the store and purchasing. You make them feel warm and loved, and they've been coming to you for years, and they're going to keep coming back. You got a faithful customer. You have a faithful spouse. I hope that makes sense to you. Remember, business is a marriage, and we want to have a successful marriage. One more thing I would like to mention before I go. And another big component to a business is financing it. How is the business getting financed? Have you talked about your finances? Your finances goal? The income that you bring into the household now? How can you let it change now? Do you want to change it later? And to prepare for it. Those are the components that's needed to run a business, right? It's the same component to running a successful marriage. Dedication and work and perseverance. Remember what I said in the beginning. It's so easy to get complacent. You got to work that business. Too many people don't want to put the work in. And as I said in the beginning, sometimes people don't know how to. But you can always be willing to learn. So today, I hope you gained something. I love talking to you guys. I always want to make sure that, something was taken away. So I hope and pray it was. And I thank you for following me. Continue to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at the Lady K Chat Podcast. And you can also follow us on our website at www.ladykenterprisesinc.com. And you guys have a great night.
Lady K.